Hey guys, this is North back again with another video. Today's video, as promised, I'm coming to you with the fragrances that I wore for the last 10 days of Ramadan. If you haven't caught my two previous videos, the first 10 days and the middle 10 days, please go ahead and do so. I'm not going to spend too much time on this one since I've talked enough giving you a little bit of background about this particular themed video, but it's the fragrances that I wore during the holy month of Ramadan. So let's go ahead and get it going. The first fragrance that I wanted to mention is from the house of Acqua di Parma, and this one is called Ambra. Now, Ambra is not your typical amber based scent. This one is actually one that features Ambergris. This one was released in 2015. The notes on it are Ambergris, Musk, and sea notes, and that's exactly what you get from it. You get an authentic, realistic representation of the note of Ambergris. If you're not familiar, Ambergris is an excretion or throw up from whales, and is a very prized possession in the practice of perfumery. But the reason why I chose this one, I wanted to wear this one during this month, is that in the religion of Islam, there are a number of books which contain the sayings and the practices of the Prophet Muhammad, and one of them is him perfuming himself. And there are two particular ingredients that are mentioned a number of times, him having wearing it, and one of them is ambergris and the other one is musk, and of course that's going to be the deer musk. So I mentioned to my colleagues a number of times that these are this is one of the particular fragrances or notes that are mentioned in the authentic hadith, is what they call it. So I wanted to feature this one because this is one of my favorite animalic type fragrances. Let's go ahead and keep it going. Day number 22, I just wanted to feature something that I hadn't worn in a while. It's nothing very exciting, but it's one that I believe is probably one of the most slept on designer fragrances in existence. And this one is from the house of Yves Saint Laurent. This is Body Kouros. This is the older bottle, the older presentation. I do have the newer presentation. When I wore this one on that day, I didn't really notice too much of a difference. So if you're going to pick up a newer presentation of it, I wouldn't really worry about it too much. I wouldn't spend too much time trying to hunt this one down, even though they're not going for ridiculous prices. Body Kouros was released in 2000. The notes on it are eucalyptus, incense, cedar, clary sage, and benzoin. And I chose this one because I hadn't worn it in a while, and another reason was that it features the note of benzoin. And benzoin is a vanillic type of resin that is found all over Southeast Asia, but one of the particular countries that produces the benzoin resin is a place in Indonesia. In Indonesia, if you're not familiar, this is the most populous Muslim country in the world, so that's one of the reasons why I wanted to feature this fragrance. Moving on. The next fragrance I wanted to mention is from the house of Abdul Al-Quraishi. This is day 23, and that one is Taif Rose. This one, I don't have a release date on it, but this comes from the Wheelhouse collection. I don't know if you can see that through this clear bottle, but in the Wheelhouse, it's just like the fragrance Wheelhouse, where they'll have florals or citruses, Arabic type scents, all on this Wheelhouse. And so this one is considered to be on the Arabic side. Not much to say about it other than it smells exactly like Taif Rose, not essential oil, but oil that you can pick up. And the notes off of the website says it has Taif Rose and oud. I don't get any oud from this. What I get is a sweet, almost citrusy, of course rose, but it almost has some citrusy type of facets to it. It's something that you could wear definitely in the spring and the summertime. If you're not opposed to just wearing straight rose scents, and it's easy for you to get, I would pick it up. It's not something that I would go out of my way to get. Moving on. Day 24 is from the house of Atelier Désert, and this one is Larmes du Désert. Now, Larmes du Désert was one that I did blind buy. I'm glad that I was able to pick up on it. It was released in 2015. Notes on it are incense, cypress, gaiac wood, cedar, benzoin, and citruses. And what I like about this one is that it does remind me a lot of Sahara Noir from Tom Ford. So that one is a discontinued fragrance. I do own it, but it is going for exorbitant prices. This is probably the closest that I've smelt to it. And I do like this one. It's a great incense-based fragrance. It's not one that I've been willing to part with as of yet. Moving on. Next up, day 25, I'm back to the house of Stefan Humbert Lucas. I believe this is the last one that I own, and this one is Kohol de Bahrain. And this was one that I had to try to track down because I missed out on my opportunity to get it locally. This one was released in 2013. The notes on it are resin, sweet notes, iris, ambergris, sandalwood, and total balsam. Now, besides ambergris, which pretty much you can find all over the world, there aren't many notes in it which originally come from like the Middle East or anything like that, but I wanted to feature this one because it does have the name Bahrain in it, and it is a sweet resinous type of scent. Now, this one, Kohol, I've mentioned before, is the black eyeliner that they use. They've been using it since the time of ancient Egypt. It is still popular in Middle Eastern cultures. Sometimes they even put it in the eyes of babies. At least this is what my wife has told me. And so I wanted to pick this one up. I do like this scent a lot. That's why I had to track it down. It's not like mind-blowing, but it's an iris powdery type of scent that when people describe powdery makeup-y scents, this is the type of scent that I actually envision. And so I do like this one a lot. It may lean a little bit feminine for some, but if you get a chance to try it out, I like this one more than the other GCC or College based scents. There's one called Doha, and I like this one a lot better than this. So I had to pick up on it, and I wanted to feature it during this week. It was a little bit difficult to pick what I wanted to wear because even though it's 30 days, that's 30 fragrances. There's a lot of great fragrances that I left out, but there were some I wanted to feature. Let's keep it moving. Day 26 is from the house of Chanel, and this one is Coco. This is the Extrait. This is one of my most recent pickups. I haven't had it for a long time. There's a significant amount of it missing because I did put 5 ml in a decant just to spray. This one has Bulgarian rose, peach, jasmine, clove, opopanax, civet, sandalwood, lavender, vanilla, and tonka bean. And this one I wanted to feature because it is a Middle Eastern style type of scent in the vein of opium. But I just wanted to feature this one. Let's keep it moving. Next up, from Tauerville Fragrances, the house of Andy Tauer, this one is Rose Flash. Now, Rose Flash is my favorite Andy Tauer fragrance. If you're not familiar with these, most of them have been discontinued except for, I believe, this one and the vanilla. But this one is a Parfum concentration, whereas the vanilla one is a eau de parfum. Now, Rose Flash was released in 2014. This one has notes of rose, resins, and woody notes in it. This is a very resinous and realistic rose type scent. I absolutely love this one. Glad I was able to pick up on it. It's the price for the quality that you get, I believe, is almost unmatched. As far as this, I believe you can get a bottle for around $100 retail, and so this one for retail is a steal. Moving on. Day 28 is from the house of Nishane. This is one house that people don't talk about too much anymore, but the one I wanted to feature is Sultan Vetiver. Sultan Vetiver is a very potent, really good vetiver type of scent. I'm not too big on vetiver, but I do like this one a lot. It's very strong. There's 3 types of vetiver in it. This one was released in 2013. What's on it are Java vetiver oil, bergamot, bourbon vetiver, Haitian vetiver, neroli, and tonka bean. So you do get some citrus notes along with the vetiver. This one, I believe you can wear all year round. If you wear it in like the summertime, You probably do not need too many sprays on it. This one is extremely potent, as all Nishane fragrances are extrait de parfums. Why do you think nobody's talking about Nishane much anymore? I mean, they have released these new reformulated 10-year anniversary X ones, which I'm not too excited about, but we'll see what people say when they do come out. Let's go ahead and keep it going. Day 29 is from the house of Areej L'Odore, and this one is Civet de Nuit. I still have my 10 ml bottle. I really do like this scent. It is very, very potent. It was released in 2022. This is a creation in conjunction with Sultan Pasha. So another Sultan. This one has night blooming jasmine, civet, musk, labdanum, benzoin, Mysore sandalwood, and ambergris. Now, I normally, when I'm mentioning notes, I usually don't mention all of the notes. And if one mentions musk, I usually do not say musk, but I know that Russian Adam, from watching his videos, that he does use real deer musk in his fragrances. So that's the only reason I felt comfortable mentioning it. But this one I've mentioned in my review does remind me a lot of bee from a zoologist. It's not exactly the same, but it has almost that animalic, super sweet honey type note in it. I got the 10 ml because I knew that they would sell out quickly. Do I wish I had a 48 ml? No. I do maybe kind of wish that I had another one of these 10 mls because it is a very good scent, but 48 ml I'll pass on, but it's a very good scent. I really enjoy it a lot, but it's extremely potent. Moving on. And the last day, day number 30, we're back talking about Stefan Humbert Lucas, but this one is from his fragrance house called So Oud. I don't know if it's still in production or if it still exists. I don't believe so. Please let me know in the comments if you are familiar. But this one is called Cans. Mine on the side is rubbed off, but this is the extrait de parfum concentration. These fragrances are still available in some of the fragrance shops here. They still do have them. This is a 30 ml bottle, extrait. This Cons was released in 2010. The notes on it are oud, rose, sandalwood, jasmine, and cypriol oil. Why I wanted to get this one? I haven't tried many of the other ones. I was just on the search for this one. The reason why I wanted to get Cons is because this one is the precursor to one of my favorite fragrances, especially from his house. So it is very similar to that without like the heavier resinous backbone of it, but it's essentially the almost like the skeleton of it without like those heavy resins in it. So I was able to pick up on a bottle of this. It's a 30 ml again. At the time it was kind of expensive. It was like $150 or something like that, but that's kind of a lot for 1 ounce of fragrance. But I wanted to feature this one because I haven't worn this one in a while. It's so small I almost neglect to even see it, but I wanted to give this one a run since I wore at the beginning of the month. So I chose its predecessor for the end of the month. And those are all of the fragrances that I wore during the 30 days of Ramadan. I hope you enjoyed your month as well if you do celebrate. Now I wanted to feature one last fragrance. This fragrance is the fragrance that I'm going to wear for Eid after the 30 days are finished. There is an Eid celebration. Eid, I believe, just means festival. And this is where everybody prays in congregation. They go out with their friends and their family. I don't have much family here, friends, but I'll meet up with some friends and do that. But the fragrance that I wanted to wear and feature on this day, because on that particular day you're supposed to wear the best of your clothes. People buy new clothes, so buy new clothes if you can afford it. And so I wanted to wear my new fragrance. It'll be my first time wearing it, and this one is Chypre Palatin, but this one is the Silk Road edition that I was able to finally pick up. This was something that I just wanted it in my collection, even though I already owned the original 75 ml bottle. Chypre Palatin, which I've talked enough about, was released in 2012. It has galbanum, aldehydes, labdanum, clementine, plum, rose, tolu balsam oak moss and benzoin. And this right now is still my favorite Chypre style fragrance. And again, I wanted to feature this one because it's a new fragrance, but also the Silk Road is something from ancient times, where they would trade from east to the west, and of course the Middle East is in between there. So all of these spices and things like that changed hands during this time is very fascinating to me as far as history is concerned. So just as a just as a side note, I just wanted to feature that. Just the name Silk Road Edition I thought was really cool. And all of these particular spices and materials that we wear or that we eat that become part of all of our cultures, whether it's the Middle East or the West in Europe or the Americas, how many things have been introduced to us through this particular trade. So I thought that was pretty cool. So this is the fragrance that I'm going to wear on Eid, Chypre Palatine and the Silk Road Edition. I'll probably wear this one and we'll see how it goes and keep the other one on my back burner. But that's it. That's the end of the series. I do want to shout out Rich Mitch. He inspired me to want to do a fragrance rotation. So I don't get a chance to record as much as I would like to, but when I do, I'll try to do a fragrance rotation video of what I wore during that particular week. But that's pretty much it, guys. Have you tried any of these fragrances? If you do, please let me know in the comments which ones that you like. If you know of any other fragrances that may be worth checking out, whether they be animalic scents, Middle Eastern or resinous types of scents, and also Chypre scents. I think the next thing that I'll probably do, I'll have to update my Chypre list, and I want to do a list on aldehydic fragrances. So I do thank you for your time. This has been fun. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one, guys. Peace.